All right, so welcome to episode 1 of the channel, video 1. I'm really not sure what to call this thing yet, but anyway, this is something that has been kind of weighing on me for a pretty good while now. I've had people in the past tell me I should start a channel. I get a lot of questions about what I do as an action sport filmmaker, how I do it, how I achieve certain looks, how I navigate certain situations. And so I think this is something that's kind of long overdue, and I'm pumped. All of that aside, I think it's going to be a pretty cool way for me to create without feeling like every little thing has to be perfect or outside pressure from clients to do things their way. Like, this is just going to be me and how I do things creatively and why I do things creatively, I guess. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Blake Keith and I'm an action sports filmmaker. I've worked in the motocross industry for about 5 years now, and it's kind of been a dream of mine to work in this industry. Since I was a kid, I've ridden dirt bikes, ridden motocross. So yeah, I started my filmmaking journey as a motocross rider myself. And I think if you work in any athletic industry, it doesn't have to be action sports. You probably started as an athlete yourself of some sort. So started as a motocross rider, was going to the track. It was the early days of Instagram, so I think you could post like a 15 to 30 second clip at the time. Something like that, some photos of course. And so trying to get sponsors, trying to afford racing, I want to say. My buddies and I would film each other on our iPhones and put together short clips for Instagram and just try to get sponsors and followers, and it was just kind of cool at the time. So long story short, people eventually started to come to me and say, hey, can you film a clip for me? And I just kind of realized, like, hey, I could be making money doing this. And so that's when I started to get more serious about it. I saved up some money, bought my first camera, which was like a Canon M50. I don't know if you guys even know what that is, but it's a very small mirrorless camera, 4K, I think. Then it turned into traveling like 7-8 hours away on the weekend. And growing up, there weren't even that many kids who rode dirt bikes in my area. So I'm pretty fortunate to have figured it out, been able to ride, and taken it as far as I have these days. So that's the story for another day. Anyway, started traveling, getting more serious into it, charging people for Instagram edits and photos and things like that. And then it turned into finding a mentor. I realized I wanted to take this thing a little more serious, and so I think the whole reason I kind of started to do videos and things like that in the first place is I remember being a kid and watching it's a media platform in the motocross industry. They're called Verb Moto, and I had been watching their videos since I was a kid. And so I think that's what initially inspired me to make dirt bike videos. And so as things kind of went on, I kind of bumped into the guys at Verb Moto and ended up working for them. So it's pretty cool. The initial thing that made me want to start making videos, I ended up kind of working for that company on down the line, which was just probably a year and a half into me picking up a camera, which was really awesome. They kind of took me in under their wing, and not that I was even that good at the time, but I think they kind of saw potential, and it was cool because it was kind of my way of having a mentor, and I learned a lot from those guys at the company, and I think that's a really important thing. If you're getting started in any industry in filmmaking, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is find some kind of mentor. Find someone who is doing the thing that you want to be doing yourself one day, and try to learn everything you can from them. if they will allow it. You know, you can't force your way in there, but I think if you're genuine and you work hard and you care about what you do, people will see that and they'll give you an opportunity. They'll want to work with you, they'll want to teach you, things like that. So if you take anything away from this, I think it is really important in life to try and only take advice from people who are in the position that you want to find yourself in one day. And that's not only in filmmaking, that's in just life in general. I think it's really important, and I think it's a really good way to find yourself on the right path to your goals and your dreams. So find a good mentor and learn everything you can, because it's invaluable, paid or not. So I'm grateful for that. And it's actually kind of like taken me into where I'm at in my life now. I run my own video production company now in the industry. It's called Emerge Studios. If you haven't already, check out Emerge Studios. I'll leave a link to our YouTube channel below. It's a brand I'm building, a media agency, and super pumped on what we're accomplishing this year. And hopefully you'll see some of that pretty soon. I would say the next thing, after you get a mentor, after you kind of like get your feet wet with some pretty cool projects, I think if you, like for me, I've decided to take things out on my own and run my own production company, which has come with its own set of challenges. Things are not always easy. It's actually kind of tough sometimes. So I think that's something that you kind of have to know coming in, is being a full-time creator isn't everything that it's cut out to be. It's really hard. It's come with 5 years of insane struggle. You really have to love it and want it and be passionate about it. If you aren't passionate about it, then I hate to say it, but it's gonna be a really hard thing to make your career. So make sure if you're starting this out, know that it isn't glamorous. You aren't gonna make millions of dollars like everyone says on social media. And it's actually one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, but it's also one of the most rewarding and just fulfilling things that I've ever taken on. So if you're gonna get into this game, make sure you love it, make sure you're passionate, and do it for the right reason. Like, sure, you might go on to make millions of dollars one day, but you might not, and you might struggle along the way. So I don't know, there's probably easier ways to make $1 million if we're being honest. But if that's your goal, you're probably getting into the wrong industry, you're probably doing the wrong thing with your life. So just make sure if you're getting into this, you love it, you want to do it for the right reasons, and be passionate. I'm not gonna be one of those guys to sit here and be like, oh, here's how to make $10 million in a month, or here's how to set yourself up. I don't know, like, I think a lot of that's fake, and you see a lot of crazy shit on social media that isn't true or isn't real life. So yes, I'm a full-time action sports filmmaker. No, I don't drive a Lamborghini. No, I'm not a millionaire. I do this stuff because I love it, and I genuinely value and appreciate the people that I work with. And I think that if you aren't in it for that reason, you're kind of doing the wrong thing. So there's a lot easier ways to make $1 million out there. And if you can figure out how to make a career out of something that you can love and be passionate about, the money will follow. And yeah, so I don't know. I think just know that coming into your journey as a filmmaker. All right, so another big piece of advice that I have when it comes to trying to become a full-time filmmaker is don't get in over your head when it comes to gear. I know that's kind of an easy thing to do these days. A lot of people are so focused on the latest and greatest equipment. And don't get me wrong, I'm a gearhead as well. I love equipment. I would have storage rooms filled with equipment if I could. But I just don't think it's necessary, especially these days. You can get by with so little and make such a great looking image with like some of the smallest packages out there. And I say that because, is gear important? Yes. And at a certain level, it will help you to make better looking films. It'll help you achieve a better product. But when you're trying to become full-time, you don't have to have the latest and greatest to have a really great image. I actually don't even shoot on the latest and greatest myself. I have a Sony FX3 and I have a couple of f4 lenses, and they're great. They crush. They've never really caused me any problems. It's not the most expensive stuff, but it gets the job done, it crushes, and I guarantee you that for most people out there, if they look at what I'm creating on f4 lenses versus the latest and greatest G Master version 2, you're not gonna be able to tell a difference, and mine might actually even look better because I spent more of my time on filmmaking and the process of telling a story and how to connect to an audience and learning that side of things instead of investing into gear and having a $30,000 red camera that looks like shit because I don't know how to color grade. But that's a story for another day. The main thing is, use whatever is available to you. Don't go taking out loans and spending a bunch of money, or taking out a credit card and buying a new camera. Like, it's unnecessary, and you're gonna find yourself in a lot of debt and a lot of trouble. So don't get me wrong, that gear is really nice when you get to a certain level, but I just think that if you aren't consistently getting the types of jobs that pay for a $40,000 red camera, then you probably shouldn't be going in debt to try and buy a $40,000 red camera. So anyway, rant over. We'll dive into gear and things like that in the future maybe. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I don't really know what this channel is gonna be yet. This is kind of the first video, so if you're here at the beginning, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. When I make these videos, it's not to come on here and act like I know everything or I'm the best at everything. It's more so just to share my life, my experiences, and maybe just for sharing a couple things like this that I think are pretty important and that a lot of people ask me these questions. Not that I'm a role model for anyone, but I just think it's cool to be able to share the information that I do have. Like I said, I think about myself as a kid, and when I was a kid starting out in this, I wish I had someone to teach me these things. So yeah, hopefully this video was cool. If you have any more questions about this, feel free to drop them in the comments or hit me up on Instagram. I'll pop my Instagram handle up right here or put it in the caption. I don't really know yet. I don't know what I'm doing here, people. I'm just kind of on here making it happen, and if it's cool, cool, and if not, then we'll see you later.